You are listening to DropTent Media Network.
Yes. All right, baby. Here we are.
Have we begun?
Yeah. Welcome to the cast.
What's up, guys?
Wow. I don't think we ever filmed one like this where it's just chilling.
Where we can look at the audience.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't know who to look at. Actually, I'm not gonna. I just like to look at myself. I got called out. Actually, Peggy saw me looking at myself in the glass door as well. It was like, quit looking at yourself. I'm like, I'm trying to see if I look retarded or not. Give me a second.
My therapist had me turn off like my preview of my face because we've been doing online sessions.
You can tell that.
Yeah.
You can tell you're like, are you looking at your like eyebrows and shit?
Yeah, I'm like, I want you to think I'm handsome.
So he told you to take it down. Like,
Starting the next session, he's like, hey Rob, can you do me a favor and just hit hide my preview?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, like for like a psychologist to like understand. It's like, all right, he's not even listening to what I'm saying. He's just staring at himself.
Yeah, but it was like a thing where I would keep looking at myself, and then I'm like, from being fat, like the shirt sticks in unflattering places. You can see my nipple a little bit, so I always go like that to create a little air.
It's a little humid out here too, so that's definitely gonna help with it getting sticky on the nippy.
I know. But dude, well, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's start with the outdoor show you had.
Yeah, man, that was pretty cool. That was, for people who don't know, comedy came back this week for me and Rob here, and kind of the world. It kind of felt like Dave Chappelle did a special.
Yeah.
And then it was like a stun grenade for everybody. And then next thing you knew, like comedians were just out everywhere because everyone was like talking about Dave Chappelle. That next thing you know, like, oh shit, they're in the backyards. They're all over the place.
I know, it did kind of seem like everything popped back up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like starting last week, I've been seeing more and more people posting performing.
Right. Yeah. So I guess people have been doing it in secret. Like at first, that's why I was like kind of keeping the show on wraps because I didn't want to. People would be like, who do you care about? Why are you doing a comedy show? I'm like, because I didn't even like tell people on Facebook. What I did was like on a Thursday, I'm like, all right, Thursday night, I think I was like, we're going to do a comedy show. And it was kind of because of Rusty.
Yeah.
Rusty is kind of the sole reason why that show took place because that's Sunday beforehand. We were here barbecuing and Rusty was like, Rob has been working the hardest. And I was like, fuck that.
But obviously, like, I'm a fucking piece of shit, dude.
No,
I just ride my bike around just thinking of dick jokes.
Well, he wasn't wrong. He was just meant like more in the art of comedy. Like you've improved yourself.
Gotcha.
And you've been working on your stand up and things like that and progressing. And I heard that as like, I don't do enough. And I was like, fuck you, Rusty. I'm having a show now. But I mean, I obviously knew what he was referring to. And
I know what you mean.
That's when I was like, all right, well, regardless, I'm doing the show. The show, it was just in my backyard right here. Put out a bunch of flyers, just went around the neighborhood, posting up it looked like a third grader drew this flyer. And
you marketed it like a yard sale or something.
That's basically what it was. Yeah, I just stapled like a lost dog, like stapled shit to telephone poles and stuff. And people were like walking by, they were like, what is this fucking kid posting up there? And I just turn around, like all the papers disheveled. And my like, what are you like? You want to come to a comedy show? They're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, see ya.
But then the neighborhood fucking rolled through, dude.
They responded. So
everyone rolled through.
It was wild.
Everyone.
Yeah.
What was it like 30, almost like 30 comics, like
almost
40
30
audience members,
and then at least 40 audience members in my backyard, and
Nuts.
a lot of the people I didn't even know because I just posted. I put comedy speakeasy, and then put like bring your own beer, bring your own safety lube, which is hand sanitizer, and then I just left I said secret address with my phone number, and just people would hit me up like, what's up with this secret comedy show? And I would just give them the address, and everyone came. It's one of those weird times where when you promoted a show, it worked.
It was cool. It seemed like everyone needed it because that crowd was so hot. Like, you could tell they like went into it wanting to laugh.
Right. Yeah, it was really just like an open, positive.
Like, you know, it's good when they're laughing at premises.
Right. Yeah, yeah. You're like, oh shit, that wasn't even.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, this is really nice because it was a little jarring because it was going from like nothing to like a real show.
Well, yeah, I had the intentions of it just mainly being comedians that showed up.
Yeah.
And then when you have both of them, that's why I invited so many comedians. I'm like, all right, even if like 10 audience members show up, we still have enough for that's a good audience as long as everyone pays attention. And then an audience showed up, so I had like 30 comedians just running around on the side of the house doing God knows what. And then a bunch of people who half of which I didn't know in my backyard doing God knows what. And I'm like, shit, dude, I haven't done stand up in God knows how long.
I know. But when I came into it, I rehearsed like some new bits and a little bit of old just to get into the new bits.
Right.
But then I saw like the people there and I just went in my car like immediately. I'm like, I got to do a set.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I think
which was fun though.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the times where you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Didn't think I needed to be prepared for this.
Yeah. And it was fun too, like sprinkling some new stuff for the first time. Like it just like got me back into it. Like I just was super inspired. And there was like a thing about it too. I had like an epiphany from that moment.
Really? Because
leading up to that, like I was just going a little nuts, just overthinking, anxiety, just like thinking about the world, ending things that could happen. And then like that happened. And in that moment, I'm like, this is a memory. I was like, I'm going to get a little
sappy.
I'm going to become a little bit of a baguette here.
It's okay.
But I was like, dude, I just want to like fill my life up with like as many of these kind of moments and like just stop like freaking out about all this shit that like might not happen. Like, I don't know. It put things into perspective because I think we've all been away from real life for so long that just this new reality, at least for me, like in my head, like everything just seems so much scarier and like freaks me out more. So
it seems more realer. It's just like less, like it's like crab cakes, more crab meat, less filler.
Yes.
So
yeah, there's no buffer in between the thinking all the time.
Yeah.
Like usually I can just go to a mic or hang out with friends and like just have that buffer there to at least ground me back in a reality because I'll like overthink things and then all this shit feels like reality and it really isn't.
Right. Yeah. If you don't have like a few like experiences outside of your own thoughts, you can bump.
Yes.
You could go down some weird alleys. You know, and that's anybody.
100%. And it was a weird thing too, where I was kind of thinking about what I want from comedy, because I think it's kind of insane to think about like you can become like this next level guy, like, but it is kind of everyone's goal. Like you hope to get there, so of course it's going to be in your mind. But
it's funny that it's like that's what every one of us are trying to do, and if anyone like even like kind of shows like ambition, like because you know like and exposes that like. I guess it's kind of seemed as weakness. Like, oh, did you think you were gonna make something of yourself?
Yeah, you seem like a cocky dick.
Yeah, people like to attack. Yeah, people like to attack it because it's like, you're not ready. It's like, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like, eventually I want to be ready. That's that's all I'm saying, dude.
Right? Yeah. Let me go try to be ready right now. And then I'll decide whether to slow up or press the pedal.
Exactly. And just that moment, dude, like I was very pleased with my set. I thought it went good. But then, like, that didn't even feel as good as just, like, hanging out with all you guys. And, like, it was weird. Kind of rearranging my thought process of everything about, like, why I'm doing comedy, what I want out of life, just, like, what's really important.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, like, my biggest success was, like, opening up at the time Susquehanna Bank Center. Like, that felt, like, unreal. And, like, that's a crazy memory. But also too is because like I was in a band with like all my best friends, and then like that's what made it sick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why for so long have I been chasing just approval from all these fucking strangers?
Right. Yeah, that you probably won't ever see again. That's why this felt a little bit different. This felt more like a community coming together, and it was weird. Usually after comedy shows, it's kind of just like things fizzle out. Like people don't really stick around. Like it's not like a rager, you know. But this felt like more like it was a good, like as soon as the show was over, it was a good melting pot of the audience and the comedians.
It felt very joyous.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you guys did that," and we're like, "Dang!" I'm like, "I can't believe you guys came." Like, it was just a nice, like, one of my neighbors made a really nice card and gave it to me and stuff. So it's like, oh, so these are the audience members. Like, I actually care. Like, not only do I care about how they enjoyed the show, but I want them to be like these guys. I want to put on fun events for them whenever I can. Like, have like an outlet in the community, within the community, where they don't have to go to like another establishment and have to spend their money on other shit. They could just come right down the street and get some weird thoughts in their brain from a wacky dude that kills bugs that down the street that they didn't know existed until just now.
Well, that's also what I always dug about your shows. Like, almost any show you put on, like, I can't think of a better word, but it feels like an experience. You know, like all the festival shows and like this backyard show. It's like more than just like the comedy happening.
Right.
Like in like the mantra, we're all best friends. It just like sets up a vibe, and I'm like, this is why we do it. Like, this kind of shit. It's not to like just rip a set and like do well and then just sit in a green room and then go to the next place.
Right. Yeah. That's the different. Like, the clubs can seem like a little bit more intimidating in that way, where it's just like it's like more of a strip club. It's like, all right, now's your time on the pole, bitch. Go fucking dance for these people, and then
you just go to a hotel room by yourself, or maybe with an opener if you're at that point.
Yeah, that sounds so depressing.
I know.
and that was like one of the steps I was like just willing to accept at some point when I was doing this. I'm like, yeah, at some point I'll just be lonely in a hotel. That sounds rad. And
I know.
And then I had the show the other night. I'm like, I don't ever have to do that if I don't want to.
I know. It bummed me out thinking of like if one day it happened where like I do a set like in Minneapolis or something, get off stage and I can't like talk to you guys about it.
Right. Yeah. Which, I mean, that'll still happen, but like there's people that you talk about that do it for like an entire 5 years. And it's like, what did you do? Who did you? Well, I mean, I'm sure that's also insane too, but
true. And I guess there is like a part of it too, where if you get to a certain level and you're like a regular at like a comedy store or cellar, like during the week all the time, you're just chilling with comics and stuff like that. I didn't think about that, but I don't know. I guess there is just like an added pressure when you get to that level, because right now, like, it all just feels so fun. Like, I don't feel like I have to write a new bit. I'm just doing it because it's really fun. And then it probably does get to a weird point where, like, you have, like, a wife and kids, and you're like, I have to write this dick joke to feed people.
I have to I write this dick joke to put food in my child's mouth. I'm putting this dick in my child's mouth. That's what's going.
Yeah.
You know, you separate it's a dick joke, which turns into food. Well, it turns into money, which turns into food.
Right.
So you're basically just putting that dick joke right in your child's mouth.
Facts. Yo, facts. That is such a crazy.
Just open up for the dick joke. Oh, that was a big one, wasn't it? You gotta chew your dicks up.
It's Big Daddy. Whoops.
Yeah, well, you know what it is? I think what you're just talking about, like that feeling of how it's more fun right now, because it's also a little bit more scary, and that might be it. So, since we were just in that for like however long we were just doing comedy, we were all like kind of focusing on getting better and getting to a different, higher place. And it was, it just got like, people would phone things in, and like I remember, I go to shows and like mics and just be like, that was just kind of there. I wasn't like present, you know. Now that we were forced to stop, you're like, I remember my performance anxiety was back. Like, I had a hard time managing it, like compared to what I remember that happening in the very beginning. Like, I'd get my my chest, not my test. Would just like tighten up, and I'd be like, oh shit, I'm performing tonight. Like, you just like start flexing out. You're like, shit.
But that does make it more fun, I guess, because then when you get to the other side of that, you're like, wow, I felt fucking alive, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a real like mom spaghetti moment.
Right. And also we recognize that how much it takes to get into a comedy state of mind, that how much you have to just be constantly on stage and writing and performing in order to develop as a comedian. And I think what happened was the other night at my house was that we all kind of were like, we're all getting out of the gate fresh at the gate, and now we kind of realize like how much further we have to go. So this is like just a first step, you know. Like we could have fun with this one. We don't have to work like doing good right this second isn't like obviously you want to do good because it would suck to bomb. And man, if you just took off for 4 months and then bombed, that'd be a rough start to.
Yeah, it would be. But it was nice that there wasn't too high of an expectation from anyone.
Right. It was just about doing like performing a good show.
Yeah,
that's what it was about. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't anything. There wasn't like all this other suppressed like ambition that was like in the back of the mind. Felt
right. Like I wasn't going into it being like, I hope like someone sees this and books me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was just like, all right, here's a cool thing we're doing.
Yeah.
Or you came up to me after the show. It was like, we did a cool thing tonight. I was like, we did do a cool thing. And I was like, it was nuts because I had that conversation with basically every audience member or comedian. And it was cool. Like everyone was like, that was exactly what was needed. It was cool because that's very rarely said after shows.
I know.
They're like, usually it's like, there is no point of that. That was cool. That's like the best I could have hoped for beforehand.
Yeah.
This was more like, wow, thank fucking God you did that.
And I guess with stand up too, like there's so many rainy days that you really appreciate the sunny ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Especially after 4th-month period of just rain.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mind. I don't mind rainy days. I didn't mind it.
Speaking of rain, do you want to talk about this Chris D'Elia stuff?
I do. Or do we?
It's I'll talk about the fighter in the kid clip first.
Fighter in the clit?
Fighter in the clit. Dude, sometimes that's how I feel with the
that
pussy.
as a fucking those punching bags. Ah, Jesus Christ, please stop, mister. Yeah, so what? Chris D'Elia was going around punching clits, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he got in trouble for.
Punching clits and slapping dicks.
Yeah, just young clits. He was just fucking.
How old are you? 16? Uppercut. Right to the clit. Oh, KO. Keep it below the belt, Chris. Oh man.
Yeah,
I hope he's guilty just because because of everything that people are saying. It'd be a shame if he wasn't.
I know, that's almost scarier if he's not guilty.
Yeah, right?
Like just at any moment you could just get fucked for nothing.
I mean, it seems like he's got a pretty high count of people with like actual proof.
It's not looking good. I did go into it selfishly because I fucking love Chris D'Elia. I think he's great. So selfishly, I went into it looking for it to be wrong.
Yeah.
And there was like a few things where I was like, I don't know. And then there was a few where I was like, Chris, you're killing me, dude.
Yeah, I think if you caught it in the very first like few little drops of information, you're like, no way. Mm-hmm. And then a little bit later, you're like,
yeah. I'm like, Chris, dude, you might have to take a knee for a second.
Dude, and also not only that, it's the dude from that 70s show just got like.
Oh yeah, he raped.
He straight up raped like 3 women.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
Yeah, that's the thing about rape.
I feel like all these
you can't do it.
I feel like all these are happening in the 70s. Like they should just have like a new shit, like the rapey bunch. They could just start it off with like everyone who's been charged with rape or pedophilia for like the past however many years, and they just like have the boxes and they're coming in. I remember like a good episode. It's like either Harvey Weinstein or Epstein gets jealous of the other. It's like Weinstein. It's always about Epstein. He's taking all the fucking limelight from my. Wait.
They should definitely have like a game show, like a Jeopardy version for all like the guys that have fallen from like a Me Too, and it's just Trebek just being like, you see a girl in Minneapolis, young face, but that body's 23. You A, text her. B, tell her you're in town.
C, dick pic. I guess that would be D.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's got to be D, baby.
C, butthole pic.
Clit punch.
I'm gonna have to phone a friend.
Oh, I guess that would be Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Oh shit,
then.
I'm mixing them all up.
Who wants to be a cancellionaire?
Yeah, but that's why I wonder. Like, I mean, the people that they get the allegations, but they don't have anything that get prosecuted if they're rich enough. I guess their money doesn't go away. Like
Yeah, I
Chris
don't know
is
how
probably
that
not
works.
rich enough to. He's probably going to be in some trouble financially down a little down the road.
Oh, career-wise, yeah, it's going to be a huge financial hit, I feel like. I don't know the laws. Like, you know how it's like...
You can't touch
like,
children, Rob. Rob, you can't touch children. That's the law.
But I don't know what the age of consent thing is. I never looked it up. But here's the thing. It's kind of like, you know how... Like, I've done this, where it's like, actually, the average penis length is this. And it's like, someone looked that up.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And I, like, in that sense, I'm like, glad I don't know.
Right.
Like, I never had to use it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, actually, the age of consent in
like
Minnesota.
Some
is
fucking
like-
nerd. Some fucking age nerd. Just
Yeah,
like-
because, like, you look that up just in case you need it.
Right, you're like, she's hot, but she looks like she could be just batting above her pay grade or some shit, you know? It's like, maybe I should do some recon, especially if you're at like any sort of event that, like, that's where they're lurking.
Yeah.
Like, there's the carnival you go to in Marlton. We have, like, the St. Joan of Arc carnival, and it's, like, got a beer tent, and then it's just the carnival, and it's just like, oh, shit. I remember coming here when I was in high school, when I was a hot teenager with big old
A little
tits.
supple boy, yeah.
When I wore my short shorts all the way up to my dick, and everyone's like, "Oh man, I want to fuck that kid." So
You were definitely a hot kid. I would have fucked you.
yeah, dude, I used to.
But I also would have been a kid.
Yeah, so that's hot.
I'm just guilty of being a little baguette.
I wonder if there's
But-
anybody that's like a pedophile that, not like. All right, let me put it this way: what if there's like someone that like was just into one specific age group, and it was legal for him at the time, but he never grew out of it, but he knew that it was bad to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So like he was like 15, he's like 15-year-olds are the best, and then he turned 16, he's like they're still all right. 17, he's like oh
Well, Mark Norman had a fucking great bit about that,
really?
where he was talking about like, thank God I'm not like a pedophile.
Yeah,
'cause-
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, here's the thing, like I used to be in the 16-year-olds when I was 16. Then I grew up, wasn't in the 16-year-olds. When I was a kid, loved grape juice. Now I like wine, but I still love grape juice.
yeah.
He's like, that was a close one.
Yeah. It's weird the brain just like knows to shut the fuck up. Sorry, we got loud bird neighbors.
Baby.
That's what I got the chucks for. They'll come and try to give me wet willies in my ear. I gotta chuck them away. Yeah,
You like that?
You get a few of those. Yeah, just a rare Robert bird will perch you just as a hummingbird. You look exactly. Actually, you gotta look exactly like a hummingbird. Never mind. You lost it.
Damn it. But dude, I mean, it's totally a thing for like people that tour a lot, like specifically in the music
bang
community.
minors.
What?
To bang minors.
Dude, when the Me Too thing came out, like it hit like that Warped community fucking hard, dude. Like
Yeah.
it was at the point where I was just refreshing the page to
Oh,
just
God.
keep seeing bands dropping like flies.
Oh,
like
jeez.
so many bands like hooked up with minors, and it makes sense because like minors are into those kind of bands. And it does kind of make sense because a lot of like Chris Lee has a young crowd.
Right.
So,
I mean,
I
it's
like in
kinda
that way it kind of lines up, and like this is still like all allegedly.
Yeah.
Like a lot, there's some damning shit out there, but
Right.
I
I
don't know, it's-
Some fishermen fish with fishing poles with one hook, and then there's some fishermen that fish with
their penis.
with nets,
yeah.
and they're just throwing the net over a big group of fish, and sometimes they don't see how young these fish are, and in with
Some are guppies.
yeah, it seemed like he knew how young some of these fish were.
There was one where it seemed like he knew. I was like, ooh.
yeah, so. But the
Yeah.
breeding thing is, what's up with?
With the what?
They say he was breeding.
Oh, grooming.
Go.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
Was he breeding like?
But both are like kind of like dog adjectives.
Yeah.
Like you groom and breed dogs.
I was going for a horse.
Oh yeah, true. The horses as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm more likely to
I'm sure
fuck a
there's
horse
other
than
animals.
a dog. Oh jeez.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, because like it's kind of, I guess with grooming, it's like you hit them up when they're younger and you just kind of plant the seeds, and then when they are legal, you're like,
Right.
yo, what up?
Right. Like I think I saw some dudes grooming some kids today at the ice. Well, I got the ice cream man earlier today, and that's
The ice cream man's like, yeah, you fucking like that shit?
yeah.
You fucking like
just
that?
dudes just tagging people, like writing the marks like 18 months. It's like I'll come back for you.
I got a few chocolate bananas.
Yeah. But the ice cream man. I was been in torture. I was he drove by. I'm like, I don't need him. You know, I didn't need him. He drove away, and I was in my court. You could hear him for like 2 hours if you don't get him. And I'm like, fuck this. So I rode my bike to go get him. And it's funny because like when you get to the ice cream man as a group, I'm gonna pitch a rift for you right down the middle. Okay. When you get there in your group, it's like everyone's like trying to like compete with what they had to go through to get to the ice cream man. There's just a kid there who's like, I was just playing outside, perfect timing. And then there's some dude who's like me. I'm like, I rode my bike 3 miles to get to here. And then there's some just like aged war vet with like still the like flamethrowers. Like I just burned down a small Vietnamese village to get here. And then there's just like some girl with like duct tape, and she's all taped up. She's like, I just came from Crystalia's basement to be here. Are you sure it's Crystalia's or whatever the other guy from that '70s show? Yeah,
Dude, I
that's
mean,
my ice cream riff.
they're competing for clout. I will say.
Yeah.
And it seems like Crystalia is winning. Dude, he always had clout. That's the thing, dude. Say what you will, but he just crushes everything, dude. Like, he's crushing this Me Too, dude. It's huge. Everything this guy touches just blows up, dude.
Yeah.
He's a marketing machine.
That is, he did set himself up for quite the downfall. Because a lot of people were making references to how he plays pedophiles. In
Twice. Twice.
Yeah.
Fucking twice.
That's
And like, that's just because he looks like that. Like, I don't think that was a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing.
That's like his cameo of him coming out of being a pedophile.
Yeah.
Just like let's at least live a little traces here and there.
It doesn't help at all. Because
No,
specifically
certainly
in
not.
You, he plays a comedian
Yeah.
who's in the younger chicks.
Yeah. Bless you. You only get one from me.
But dude, it made me, I don't know, it just made me think a lot, dude. Because, like, nothing in particular like that, but it just made me think, like, have I done anything cancelable? And like, the truth is, most people have. Not to that extent. Like, I do feel like that's a different level.
Yeah.
But something like what we say retarded on this.
Yeah.
Like, in 10
That's
years,
retarded
is
of
that
us.
you're telling me? I don't like it. but dude, like down the road, is that going to be looked at as just as bad? Like, it's a pretty looked down upon word to begin with. But like down the road, like, is that going to be even worse? Because with Shane Gillis, like, no one knew that like the C word for Asians was like as
sharp,
bad as it was.
Was as a big of like.
It's different with like texting underage girls because we all know that. That's right. But
Right.
like, I'm just saying, like,
No, you're right.
zooming out.
I get
with everything.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I mean, that was kind of like using a weapon that you didn't know was like could kill somebody,
yeah.
and then you're like, oh shit, that fucking just that hurt. That seemed that was a bigger weapon than I thought it was.
Yeah, it feels like I'm possibly killing someone with a bop it.
Right. Like you went like instead of using like a drone strike, you accidentally nuked a spot. You're like, I didn't know that would have done that much damage. I thought that was like a very specific. Well, actually, I don't know. That might make it actually worse.
Yeah, and maybe retard was a bad example
And
because
maybe
like
using bombs
I know
without describing what Shade said. Mentioning the atom bomb wasn't smart either. So.
I didn't even think about that. Even though that's Japanese, but still within the O word. Can you say the Orients? Is that bad?
I don't probably.
Shit.
If you have to think about it, it's the same as carding somebody. If you're gonna have sex with them, see if they're 16.
Yeah, if you have to think about it, just don't.
You might as well avoid it for next episode.
Yeah, dude, but I don't know. Cause, dude, we've definitely said some fucking wild shit on here.
Oh yeah, no, I constantly think that we should
delete everything.
Yeah. Constantly, I'm like, fuck, dude.
I know.
Fuck.
But then there's like a part of me. It's like. That's like sometimes my favorite shit though, like the shit where you know it's bad, but you just say it anyway, and then like we both understand we don't mean it, and we have the context of us,
right?
And so like it works with that, and then I kind of think like someone who doesn't have context to us, like might not get it. That's why my ultimate comedy dream like if I'm shooting for the stars, have a good podcast audience and just headline weekends at clubs. That's it.
Right.
Because then I have my audience. They have context to me. They get it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like too big for my britches, and then like I can't get fired from anything.
Yeah.
And like that's it.
I think that's what Chris thought he had. So as long as you don't,
he was
as long
like,
as you don't,
because Chris was like doing like Netflix like shows and
you're
shit
right.
like that.
Right.
And, like he went into the acting sphere and also he was like touring theaters. Like he was fucking huge.
and touching minors is definitely something worse than saying retard in the microphone.
I'd agree.
For now,
Yeah.
we're gonna get to a place where everything evens out. I was telling this thing to you and Tom the other day, that like right now we're in a time period where certain groups are still oppressed. So it's like you're kind of just like, come on, dudes, don't. They're like that's how people take it. Like, which I don't like. Obviously, I've said some fucked up shit on here, and I constantly like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Those people are going through a rough time. But at the same time, I'm just like, in my head, I'm already in the future. I'm already where we are. Like, sometimes I forget, like, I'm like, oh, these people, like I heard a lesbian say that hockey sucks the other day. And I just wish that we were at a place where it was even enough, because I knew she was just saying that to make me mad. And I wanted to just make a good point. I'm like, lesbians suck, dude. I just want because I had like the same arguments that she could have had to say against me, like about it.
Right.
She's like, well, I was born this way. I'm like, I was born a hockey player. Like, I was born to live on the ice. And she's like, well, it's just a game. I'm like, you're playing with pussies. Nothing comes out of there when you fuck them. Like, we're all just playing around right now. What's the difference? And when you say that nowadays, that's like, yeah, but hockey players aren't like killed or like have to go through weird shit as often.
They're not like oppressed
unless you're Canadian, and then you're just kind of like told to fuck off, and you're very friendly about it. You're like, yeah, okay, yeah, fuck me, eh?
Yeah, it's a tricky thing, and there's also a thing too where there's these white people. I'm like, do you even know what you're fucking talking about? Like, dude,
so many people just like saying shit. You're like, I don't think that's smart either, though.
Yeah, dude, I can't tell you. Like, I've seen so much of this. Like, one time I went to the cellar with my friends, and we saw Big J Okerson, and it was Big J Okerson and a bunch of other people, and we were at a table, me and like my 4 other friends, all white, and then a black couple. We were all at the same table, and Big J Okerson started making black jokes. I look over, all my friends are looking very uncomfortable. The black couple fucking pissing themselves laughing. And I'm like they're fucking fine with it. Obviously, all black people aren't all the same, but I feel like there's this weird guilt that we have, and we just assume how black people are feeling. We assume how all these groups are feeling.
Right.
And then I've even had bits. You've had the same experience too, where like you'll tell a joke that involves race, and then white people get weird about it, and then the people you're actually talking about think it's hilarious.
Right.
So with all this shit going on, I'm like, are we even being real anymore? Like,
no, there's a lot of fakeness going on. Well, and that stems from the people that are pointing fingers at people right now are also the people that just learned it themselves. Like, there's a whole bunch of like new things, like this is the new woke thing, and then you hear from somebody that I'm like, dude, I knew you 10 years ago. And you weren't like on this high horse, and and I think that bothers like I'm not gonna let it like make me be like stubborn about certain things, and I'll learn from like, yeah, dude, we're not like there's totally shit going down. We're like, okay, yeah, this is fucked up.
Well, a lot of it's a diversion tactic. A lot of people are just trying to divert from their own shit, and I really try not to do that because I've fucked up a lot, and like I can call out something and be like, that's wrong, but I'll never take the moral high ground unless it's something like super heinous. But like we all got to get to the point where we all know we're fucking cancelable. Like,
right, even the people canceling people.
Yeah, and it's okay to criticize and point something out that's wrong and being like, this can't continue, but there's some people acting like their shit don't stank, and I think it's hypocrisy. God damn it,
the hippos, dude.
Yes, dude.
Hippos are coming home.
We're fucking human beings. We used to just scream at animals and just tear their guts out and like and just hit women over the head with clubs.
And
like this is where
how old they were.
Yeah, we came from that, dude. We're internally really fucked up, and now like we wear these suits and we go to work and we clock in, but we're still these fucked up people, and we're gonna make like a fucking very unsavory decisions sometimes. And all that matters is you don't know better till you know better. So just fucking change, dude.
Right.
Like,
I think
I don't
Andrew
know.
Schultz, I don't know if you've been following his shit, but he had made a really good point about like all this, like how we're taking down certain statues. Or like, all right, take down the ones that are traitorous to America, but then like there's other ones that like everyone has done some fucked up shit. And he just went through like all the statues that we're not tearing down. It's like, yeah, they're still fucked up. They did something fucked up too, but those statues are for like the greater good type of thing that they've done. Like, I think about the future all the time, especially like as an exterminator. I'll think about it like, shit, dude, at some point in evolution, this would be like the same way back in like it used to be. Like, I think humans definitely evolved because we were like some sort of related and we started fucking each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't do that anymore. We learned that's not cool, so we
Right.
stopped.
Right.
But like, and also like we kill bugs. We don't like the bug. Like at a certain point, they're just gonna figure out a way to get rid of bugs without like murdering them. And people are like, yeah, Cody fucking dude massacred bugs.
Yeah. And I guess there is a thing to it where like that shit doesn't usually change unless there's a big whoop.
Right.
Like that's why everything that's been going on with the protests and all that shit makes sense because like
I like
usually
how you just turn serious, like serious things. Like that's a big whoop.
I would classify that under big whoop.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a big whoop.
That's a big old whoop. I saw that video. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, dude.
Just watching everything. Yeah.
And they needed to fucking rattle the cage a little bit for people to listen. I get that. It's just I don't know. And actually, Chris D'Elia said this quote, which I think is interesting. He said, "You've already done the thing that'll ruin you,"
yeah, probably.
which is kind of crazy to think about. Kind of a bummer. A part of it makes me not want to like pursue that big of a career because like
You got.
I don't want people
dude.
digging through my shit. Like no one should want people digging through their shit.
Right. I know. Yeah, that's why it's like, everyone's like, dude, it's like they're only going after famous people. Like, yeah, well, who?
Yeah. What are they gonna go through? Fucking bills?
Dude,
Like Bill from Target.
it's wild. Yeah, and they like, yeah, it's weird how like change is happening.
Oh, and I hope this doesn't come off like I'm defending anyone or anything like that.
We're
But it just
pro.
made me think of like the greater idea. Like it made me look inward, and like I'm just this is like my raw feelings about everything. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Well, yeah. Everyone's got like something they're not proud of, one way or another.
Yeah. And
Not
like
necessarily
like it
trying to fuck minors, but I mean, it's still
Exactly,
stuff that you
exactly.
don't want people to know.
exactly.
It's like someone likes wearing thongs, and they said it on the cast one time, and then they stopped like wearing thongs.
Yeah, like I like immediately like I thought of
I'm wearing
like
a thong.
like a dirty text with like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like if that got out, I would be humiliated. I would be fucking humiliated. Or like even like
Yeah, she released all my butthole pics. I'm real big into sending girls pictures of my butthole. Like, you like that? She's like, why? Why am I looking at this? Like, you fucking like it.
you like it, you little
You'll
bitch.
like every inch of me. I'm just trying to be Lizzo. I just want to be in a body place where I like people. I show people my butthole like she does.
I just
And
took a
people-
DNA test. Turns out that's 100% my ass.
Let's go, dude.
We're back.
Hell yeah! I said, dude, I've been missing the in-person stuff. It's super easy
Me
to like,
too.
because I'd be doing the Zoom in my garage, and then we'd have a moment like that, and I would look around like, oh, I'm all alone.
Yeah.
So this is nice.
I think I told you that too. Like after like I won the Zoom roast, like it was done, and then I just closed my laptop and I was like,
Hooray!
well,
Yeah. What do you do with all that pent up energy?
I just took a weird night bike ride around.
Just a little faster than usual.
Yeah, I just is this drinking and driving? Like fucking like I got drunk and just rode my bike around.
You get a BUI.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
well,
told me-
this is comedy. Like I'm just joking here. You know?
Well, they have to catch you in the act.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. No, I think I actually would go to jail. Like, I think I could technically be charged as my third DUI, even if on a bike.
Wow.
Yeah. I wonder if that applies on rollerblades, because I could totally roll a straight line drunk. I've done it before.
Oh, yeah. Rollerblading, I would say rollerblading drunk might be easier than walking drunk. Because you have some momentum.
It depends which way.
Like when you're drunk,
if you're going straight or not.
yeah.
You could be want to go backwards. You're like, all right, can we still go forward?
Yeah. I think the fact that there's already that momentum.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That
the momentum
helps.
But that's but also can be the downfall when you want to stop. You're like, the only way to turn around is like a car driving by. You just have to grab the window for a second, spins you. You're like, oh, I'm coming back.
Especially if you have those beginner skates with the brake on the back.
Yeah. To do like a Thriller, you like lean in, like, oh.
But yeah, all that shit's fucking crazy.
Dude, I didn't even tell you this. Some my buddies who live in Kings Grant, the KGB motherfuckers, what's up? Ride or die motherfuckers. They all came on Razor scooters to the show on Saturday.
Really?
They all bought, like, I see like their Snapchats beforehand, and I guess they bought like 5 Razor scooters, and they were like jumping over the boxes, doing jackass stuff, and then jumping over each other. And then they all rolled up here like, oh, that's sweet. That
rules.
That's pretty dope. Like, yeah, dude, we're the cool. Like, look at all these fucking idiots walking to your house. We got Razor scooters. And the next morning I woke up and I just see handlebars in my front yard, like sticking out of the grass. I'm like, oh, the fuck. And I go to reach. They took the entire scooter of the front part of the scooter and just dug it into the ground. So it was like a reverse like submarine. You know, they have the thing because it's,
oh yeah.
But it was like for the ground, so I'd be like looking at worms, like, oh. So good one, whoever fucking did that.
Dude, that is sick that you had like a good like neighborhood friend group.
Yeah. Well, it's good like around here. I know the neck of the woods around Kings Grant, but like I don't know my way around Marlton. Like, we never left. We never had to leave. We had everything.
Yeah, you had all your friends in your neighborhood.
Within grasps. Yeah.
And that is tight.
So technically, like, it kind of felt like I've always been on quarantine, I guess. It's just
true.
Back to this whole quarantine had a nice childhood feel to it for me. It was like being back at home for a while.
Every day is nostalgic.
Yeah.
I do miss like running around the woods and shit. Like on my birthday, Crolius and his lady, I don't know if she would want to be named on a podcast, so just to be safe, I won't do it. But we on my birthday we like went to the park like in my neighborhood, and then we just like walked around like in the woods and like
you
had
guys
a few
all
drinks.
I feel like you were the kid. They were on both sides of you, and they both held your hand and did 1, 2, 3, wee, and like swung you. You know, when you like were a little kid, you ever do that with your parents? Like they grab your arms and they like swing you.
Oh yeah.
You're like, ready? Woo!
That was
That's
fun,
like
dude.
like Tom and we'll call her Cocoa Butter.
Cocoa butter.
Why not? Yeah, and they would Tom and Cocoa Butter would swing you around.
I
So you guys
fucking
are
wish that's what
literal
happened.
Swingers.
I did feel like their son a little bit, except we were all drinking together in the woods.
Ooh, that's
And it was fun, dude. That brought me back. I was like, damn, haven't had one of these hangs in a while.
Woods drunks are fun drunks.
That they were fun. Like in high school, though, I was very Jewish about it because, like, but me and my friends would drink in the woods like during the winter. I was like, it's cold.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'd be like, you just gotta drink faster.
Yeah, and we would have a bonfire, and that would be nice. But they were fun. They were fun, man.
We'd always have.
I miss those days, just not giving a fuck.
Well, eventually the cops would come on those days. I don't know about you, but cops would come for us.
Like
we used to party
once or twice.
There's
We
this
didn't have it
place
too
called
much.
Nike Base we used to go to, and every time we had a party there, it's in Briarwood. So it's like this random like woodsy area, like a bunch of like fallen rocks and stuff. It's weird. We'd just go there and party, knowing that there's someone like right around the corner. It like echoes, and they're 100% calling the cops. They do every time. So basically, everyone's getting real fucked up. And you're just like watching, like, I don't think he can run. I don't think she can run right now. So we're good. So you basically just are making sure you're not the drunkest 2 people there. So you have people to outrun.
True. And that's exhilarating in itself.
Love running from the cops.
Yeah,
Literally
how many
one of-
times have you done it?
Countless. Countless times. Like, we used to get the cops called up. We would ring and run so much that they'd
Oh, you called it ring and run.
ding dong ditch.
Yeah.
Ding dong ditch is the cooler way to say it, but we just always said it like
Ring and run works. It's all alliteration.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm fucking talking. Like we would get into some weird, like we would do this one house. They like even put like tape over the doorbell, like do not ring. I later found out that it was a pregnant lady or just a baby that like they just had a baby. So I was too proud of it. But we went there like every night and rang around to the point where they staked us out. They stayed on the other side of like a different house across the street and waited till we came back the next day. And that time I actually had like cherry bombs, like smoke grenade, like little small ones. I was gonna ring the doorbell and light them on the front street out front of their house and just like vanish into the smoke. But I just hear footsteps running from the other side. I'm like, oh shit! I turn around, it's just a dude and a dog sprinting at me. And I look at Jeff and everybody, all my neighborhood friends, like, fucking scatter! And everyone just.
Did he catch anyone?
No, actually, I sprinted across the main drag of Kings Grant, almost got hit by a car, but it was either that or get caught by this person. So sprinted across there. I just kept running. I didn't look behind. My one buddy Mark hid behind a car on the other side and said he watched the dude run after the car passed. He ran across the street, tripped and fell on his own face.
No.
And then turned around and went back to his house. And meanwhile, I was still running, and there's this one area of Kings Grant I was always told never to go to, and I was still younger. It was like, that's where all the druggies are. That's what we used to call them. That's where the druggies. And that's out like
Cool.
This is a good spot.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, I'm like, this is nice. This is a good spot to smoke. You're right, Mom. But I ran by, and it was pitch dark out, and I didn't know they had a chain link fence going around, and I was running, and I got clotheslined by the stomach. Like running full speed by this chain fence, lost all my breath, and like for a split second, I'm like, oh, the guy got me. He clotheslined me somehow, because it was just pitch. I was just running in pitch black,
Right.
And then I was like, oh wait, it's just metal,
Dude. Fucking metal, dude.
yeah. So yeah, and then cops got called every night. We'd do that and shit like that.
That is exhilarating, though. I only ran from the cops once when we were smoking a little weed by the BJ's on Route 73.
That's
Shout out BJ's.
That is an interesting spot to fucking smoke.
Yeah, because there was a little bit of woods next to it. It was so funny. Because
now it's
me and my
all-
buddy used to go there and just get ripped, and we would order Domino's to the BJ's, and like Domino's would come, and it's just two fucking hooligans just sitting outside at night. Like BJ's isn't open. And we're just like in our hoods, like,
Yeah, where do you want to smoke this?
and I
bud?
just have these
Someone-
glassy eyes. I'm like, thank you. Keep the change.
like, do you work here? Why are you out front of this BJ?
There's a fucking 20 my mom gave me.
He's like, I'm about to start looting, dude. I need to get this pizza in me. So I have some energy to steal other frozen pizzas.
Yeah, but that shit was fun. It's crazy.
Wait, so when the cops come or
Yeah, like a cop came, and then he like saw us, and then got out of his car and started walking towards us, and then
Yeah.
we were far enough away that we were just like, boom.
let's
And then I
run?
looked behind, then he started like,
Yeah, he started running. He's like, ah, fuck.
yeah, but we were like ahead of him enough. where
Yeah,
we're
that
like-
guy. Yeah, why didn't he park near you?
Because like
He wanted to do
there
a
was like
tournament-
the parking lot like over here, and like we were there.
It
But
seemed
like
he
his
wanted to do
his head,
it seemed like he wanted to do like a Terminator walk up, like, gunk, gunk. You're
like a Mike Myers thing where
Yeah.
he's always walking but catches up to you.
Yeah, yeah. Bow.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh no. Yeah, that's. And yeah, running from the cops, dude. We had a few even like a few other incidents. Well, it started one that we were doing some rig and run, ding dong ditching, and I did some neighbor's house, and I would like to like be close if there was possible to hear their reaction, and I did this one person's house by my one friend's Jeff's house, and I was hiding in the bush, literally right next to the door, so I could hear everything, and he comes out, looks around, like, motherfuckers, it's okay, I have my shotgun. And I was just like, oh no. I was like, fuck. Hiding in his bush. I think he said that just in case someone was in earshot and didn't want to sound like a bitch.
Oh, okay.
Or he has a shotgun. It's one or the other. Which is still terrifying. We got out of there. We started playing Kick the Can later that night. And the neighbor next to him, I guess, they both called the cops. And we were just playing Kick the Can. We weren't doing anything. But we literally like, oh, cops here. Let's run. That's fun. So we all scattered, and the cops like sped up, like, and they all got out of the car because they have nothing else to do in Marlton besides
Chase hooligans.
chase kids down. Yeah, that's our tax. Our tax dollars is a literal game of fucking cops jailbreak.
I know if I was a cop anywhere, it would I would want it to be like in one of these towns.
Yeah, I would
'Cause
chase
you're
them
just
down for the fun and just be like, all right, you're out of here.
Yeah, you tag them, you're out.
Yeah, you're it. You're lucky I'm cool because a lot of these cops are beating people up these days. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, not us.
yeah, right. Not me, not me, not us. Yeah.
Not us.
Not us, baby. Yeah. So anyway, one of my friend John, he's a good dude, but he showed himself to be a coward this night. He was hiding behind a car, and they have spotlights, and they're looking for all of us. And he was hiding under like a car in between a tire, and then they saw him, and he started to run. Realized he dropped his iPod, so he stopped, and was like, "All right, you got me." They caught him. They went to my friend's Jeff's house, all of our parents were having like a little shindig. They're all hammered, and the cops go in the backyard. They're like, "We got one of your kids," and then she's like, "For what?" And they were like, "Oh, we had a complaint about kids playing kick the can." And
what a weird thing to
my friend's
complain
mom
about.
was like, "Why the fuck are you in my backyard?"
Yeah.
And gave him a bunch of attitude because they're legally not allowed to be there, and they're detaining one of my friends. We were like 15, 14. Or
And who
whatever.
complains about kick the can?
Oh, my friend's neighbor, the Freebergs, very Jewish, very negative Jew, like all the stereotypes. You're just like, damn.
They're kicking it. Don't they know they could trade that in for money?
Right. Yeah. Yo, this kid, literally, this is what we would play sting pong when you hit the balls at each other and you get welts on your titties.
Ooh,
And
titty welts.
Yeah, we were.
I think those are just nipples.
Yeah. Right. But they would hurt.
I just got an extra nipple, dude.
And he would call the cops. He would go home, play football with us, and then go home crying because he got tackled. Don't play with us, Justin. You're gonna get hurt. And so that's who fucking called the cops. Mrs. Anstey. Oh, bleep that.
Wait, 51.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, she's retired now, but maybe not talk about the time that she goes to jail.
Okay.
Or just without her name in it. I mean. Okay, yeah. So Mrs. Anstey. He says, I'm sorry. Well, at least it's all the same spot. Okay, so she, the cops eventually arrest her and put her in the back of a cop car, because she's just hammered, just going off on these cops, and they're abusing their power basically. Mm-hmm. She's in her backyard drunk, and she's like, all right, well, this is drunken misconduct, which is crazy. She's in the back of the cop car. She literally gets free from the handcuffs and starts banging on the window. Our one buddy's dad is a Vietnam War vet. So he doesn't really hang out.
Yeah.
He's just he'll show up for a beer or two and then just be back at the house. He's like a doctor. And we had to call him to come get a few of our parents ended up in jail.
Holy
and
shit.
We had to get him to bail us out. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that was the time we didn't get away because of John. It was
Damn.
wild. John got brought home by his dad by the ear.
That's so fucking old school.
Yeah, his dad's 6'8", probably 300 pounds, monster. He's like, all right, Jay, time to go home. Grabs him by the ear and walks him home by the ear like a dog by the collar. Only this isn't a collar; it's his fucking ear.
Dude, I got grabbed by the ear once because my parents didn't really do anything like that.
Yeah.
I got spanked when I was really young, but then that kind of. Yeah, that's why I don't want my text.
Bottom Rob.
My text leak, dude. There's a lot of spanking talk.
Imagine getting canceled by your mom.
For the cruise.
Yeah, I used to change his diaper. He used to get hard all the time. What a fucking perv.
I text her now. I'm like, I've been bad. But yeah,
Baby boy being bad.
I don't know if you guys had CER, but CER was this thing where if your parents worked before and after actual school started, you got dropped off there.
We had CDCD, something like that.
Okay, yeah, something like that where you get watched before and after school, but it's at school,
right?
And
I felt so bad for kids that had to do that.
Yeah, that was what I did.
You did it. Oh, that explains the level of your personality.
Yes, dude.
I wonder, were they did they have stuff to do, or they just dropped you off? We need a timeout from Rob.
Well, we played game. I got in trouble a lot,
no.
but there was this one black lady who's a counselor there, Miss Judy. She was in her 40s or something like that, maybe even older. But it was kind of cool. She taught us how to like double dutch and shit.
That's pretty sweet.
But one time I was, what she said, giving her lip.
Oh yeah.
I was giving her lip.
Just ripping like kids' lips off. Like, here you go.
Miss Judy.
Here's a lip. Stop giving me these lips, boy.
Give me some pretzels and a paper napkin, please. And yeah, she fucking took me by the ear and dragged me out of there and fucking screamed at me, dude.
Oh, jeez.
And then I was like,
Yeah, I would too, dude. I would totally be if I got yelled by a black lady, just like because they know how to really cut to your core. I from what I see,
it's scary.
She's probably like a mom, so she knows that's like So that's like her going easy because from what I hear, black moms go hard in discipline on their black children.
yeah.
I
Go
wonder if
hard,
that
get
applies
hard.
to also the white women or black women with white children, or the mix.
Maybe.
Like if there's a black lady that adopted a white child and still disciplines them like that, I wonder how that person's like, yeah, when mom grabs a sandal, get your ass beat. So you don't hear not too many white kids have stories like that.
Yeah, the only sandal I got was the resort, dude. I was
You're
living
grounded.
in luxury.
You're
Dude,
grounded.
feel these hands. These are privileged hands.
These are very soft.
They're very soft.
It's very soft.
These hands ain't getting no whoopings.
They even have like the dust, like when you get really nice toilet paper, you've got that extra little lotion on it.
Yup. Yeah. Thicker than the regular Rippled brand for sure.
Using chips to wipe your ass.
Chips?
Waves ripples or Lay's ripples.
Yeah. Scoops.
That would be I mean, there's so many ways toilet paper could have gotten invented. I'm okay with where it is, but
I actually had such a dumb fucking idea for a bit about like there was such a huge discrepancy when when just paper was invented. People were like, we're gonna use this to write exchange information. Someone's like, let's wipe our ass with it.
That you said that you say that. I know exactly how that traded. Like people were writing stuff down with it, and someone was just reading something that someone was proposing. They're like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And they just started like, yo, it works.
And then they're like,
we don't have to walk around with shit in our ass anymore. We can use the shitty things that people write on our asses. It's a shame we can't use tweets as toilet paper.
but we should make it softer. Yeah, because there was probably like
There's a staple in this one.
or probably like the first version of paper probably felt a lot just like wood.
Just
Like it probably wasn't like Xerox paper. You know what I mean?
It's like laminated. Just Just like construction paper. People are probably using bark at one point. Just like this looks like it get in there nice. That would be the scoops.
That's scoops.
That's scoops. And then there was somebody that was just like plopping their ass in like a bird fucking water.
Bird bath?
Yeah, what the fuck?
You were close, man.
I was almost there. Yeah, someone was just like putting their ass in a bird, like, this is worse too, guys. And I was like, shut up. And now everyone's like, bidets are probably the way to go.
Yeah, I never experienced a bidet.
Me neither. I have customers that have bidets, like they're infested with privilege. So when I have to go kill all their privileged bugs that live in these nice houses, they have a bidet, and I've always I've had the shit, and I've been standing in that bathroom like, oh man, what I would give to just poop. Because I poop in some of my customers' house. They have to be not home though. I poop it. I poop in churches mostly.
A good church poop is good because then God just flushes it.
It's spooky.
The Holy Spirit has the handle.
I'm like, you don't bring the demons out of me.
Oh yeah. He's like, beast be gone.
I always get nervous though, because if anyone ever came home and I was pooping,
I just pictured like where they have the Bible and they do this. And like poop just starts flying out of you.
Everyone that was ever possessed just had to take a shit real bad. So bad their heads are start spinning like, wah!
Dude, every shit is like a mini exorcism.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, I just got so sorry, I just got so lightheaded doing that.
Dude, that's the demons leaving you.
Woo! I just shit my pants.
Fuck
Sorry,
yeah.
I forgot to say it in the microphone. Shit my pants. Wow, dude, I'm like going COD mode.
Wow, it looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah, we got a Sasquatch that lives back here.
You look angelic in this. Look at that. You got a halo. Hello, hello.
Man, I wish I could sing the one part in that song gets my dick hard every time we. Woo! That part,
Oh yeah.
Every time I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Beyonce fucking rips. I love that song Countdown.
Countdown, unfamiliar. I'm sure I know it, but
Like the 10, or like the me and my boo riding.
Oh, yeah,
with
okay.
this chick right beside.
Yeah, I like it.
Ladies, if you love your man, show him you the flyers.
yeah, dude, I like when she gives me like boom, 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 boom. Is that it?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's like horns.
Yeah, dude, I like any song that I could dance like a little black girl to. You know when they do
Oh yeah.
they're just like.
I wish I could twerk, dude. I do got a shitter on me, but for some reason, my body just don't move like that. And the last time I really tried dancing for real was the Back to the Wall video, and that was very white and embarrassing.
Dude, that was sick, dude. I love that. That was before I really knew you too, so I was like, wow, dude, he does that with such confidence. And now I know you. I'm like, I'm sure the entire time he was making that, he's like, do I look cool?
Oh yeah, I mean that.
Hopefully
was,
this doesn't look not cool.
That was very hard. I to rehearse for that because I didn't have a choreographer. I just had to make up all the movements, and I was just in my basement with a big mirror, like practicing it to the song, and I was so out of shape. So like after every time I did it, I would get completely naked and just get in my bed and just point the fan at me for like 20 minutes, and then I was like, all right, let's go again.
That's
Dude,
what. So
if you're a
it's-
dancer, you're gonna get fit quick.
Yeah,
dude.
dancing's good. Grandma likes to put on music like every morning and just dance in his trailer for like 80s pop
That's
for like an
beautiful.
hour a day. I'm like, that's a good. I mean, he looks like he's been slimming down. So, but I like just the art process of you writing a song and making a music video. Is at some point he got completely naked and just laid in his bed with a fan, just like, need to cool down this art. It's getting hot.
After like the
And
actual.
also, it's funny because you do the thumb thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, for some reason, me picturing you naked, this was like so close to going up your ass. Like, what you gonna do when your back's to? Yeah,
Dude,
that-
after the last take on the shoot, I literally passed out. Like not like fainted, but like I collapsed.
really,
Because like there was like all the lights,
yeah.
and like we just did it like back to back because we were really tight on
Back to
time
the
with
wall.
the
Your
renting
back-
space.
your
Yeah,
back is to the wall.
back.
Wow,
to the wall.
that's you need to film like that in order.
Black.
I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense to film a music video called "Back to the Wall" while you're back. Yeah, is to the wall.
Yeah, dude. We're at 102.
102.
You want to call it?
I mean, yeah, but
All right. Well,
this
dude,
has been good.
shout out to the fucking real ones. Dude.
Shout out to the real one. Do you have anything you want? Yo, keep your ears peeled for the next. Oh shit, dude! I didn't even get into this. We got to get into this.
Okay, let's get into it.
I got put on house arrest.
Oh yeah.
I'm technically on out. So I'm gonna be having a show. It's gonna be called the Pablo Escobar Jailhouse Party 2020 Comedy House Tour. Come to that, cause your boy's got put on house arrest.
Yes, for the greater good, and he's gonna come out clean.
I mean, no, it's so funny because it's so. All right, so this is what happened. I'm supposed to go to IDRC, which is like a drug counseling type of thing for the DUI, and I hit them up the other day. I was supposed to go. I'm supposed to be there right now, and I hit them up the other day, and I was like, I have COVID. What are you mean I'm supposed to like? They're like, oh no, we're canceling. I'm like, oh okay, cool. I was lying anyway. They're like, yeah. So what we're gonna do Zoom classes, and that we ask is that you stay home for those 2 days. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, technically you're on house arrest while you're on that since we can't have you here. I'm like, so you like sending like anything for you to be able to know that I leave or not? And he's like, no. I'm like, so I'm not on house arrest. He's like, well, you are. I'm like, but I'm not.
Right. Yeah. That's so fucking weird.
And he's like, I'm like, do I even need any, like, can you just sign a paper for me and say I did it? He's like, no, you actually have to show up. I'm like, well, can't blame me for trying. He's like, no, certainly can't. So, yeah, I'm going to just,
But you said you're gonna have a little show.
yeah, so when they put me on house arrest, I'm going to have another house part. I'm going to have a comedy show in the backyard again. Because, I don't know, you've watched Narcos, right? When true story, Pablo Escobar gets put in jail, he just has parties he builds his own jail, and then has parties out of them nonstop.
Just fucking
like
rocks
bringing
out.
over strippers and hookers and the actual Colombian soccer team to like party with them and play soccer.
Yup.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm only got 2 days. He was like supposed to do it for like 6, like for a lifetime or some shit, and then started a war with Colombia. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know, but come on out. It's gonna be
Come through. That is gonna be sick. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm gonna dress like Pablo. I'm gonna tuck my. I'm gonna get like what's he rock? K-Swisses.
Oh yeah.
Seems like
He
he's a
definitely rocks a
He
K-Swiss.
rocks his K-Swisses.
Swiss.
Yeah, and then like I have to. My belly's getting to a Escobar level, so I just gotta tuck in the shirt and wear some like very dad light colored jeans.
Yeah.
With a nice belt
And then sell cocaine.
and sell cocaine. Coke at the butt. Yeah, man.
Well, fuck yeah. Keep your fucking cock peeled for that. And follow me at Rob Cruz Comedy on Instagram. Been posting a few clips. Gonna make another attention horse soon. We're gonna get the code stir on that.
In due
And,
time.
Yeah, dude. What about you?
Right.Cody. Instagram. Oh yeah, I've been posting political shit. Just
On Twitter?
yeah, I just been doing fucking nonsense on Twitter. If you want to follow something really stupid, like I'm going after congressmen and stuff.
Let's fucking go.
I only followed by like no one really knows besides like 2 people that I even do that. So if you want to follow me at right-handed with 2 T's and W, like my last name right-handed on Twitter, you could listen to you could like retweet stuff that'll probably get me canceled at some point.
Cool. Well, I look forward to both of us being canceled.
This has been a DropTent Media production.